Welcome back to the channel, folks. It is a gorgeous sunny day out today. And as you can see, I'm doing some laundry. Our garden is horrible and it needs weeded really badly, but we're not going to talk about that. We've just been crazy busy. You can see the little guy over there flying on the swing set. But yeah, I thought I would take you along. I've already started, as you can see, but while I do some laundry and what all is involved in washing laundry in our off-grid setup right now. The wringer washer has been in the family. We've always had wringer washers. I don't remember us. We've never had anything other than a wringer washer on this farm, I can guarantee. Well, that's not true. The siblings down there have had regular washers and dryers, but my dad he never used anything. My grandmother for years and years used a wringer washer, and then she went to a small regular washer, but still line dried and hang dried everything that she washed. In the wintertime, she had a line strung across her kitchen ceiling and she would dry her clothes in the kitchen, and you'd go in and know it was laundry day because the humidity in that kitchen would be crazy and you'd have to duck under the clothes to get through to the living room. But you know, the memories, they'll always be there. And I learned a lot of my old-timey skills from my old-fashioned, very set-in-her-ways grandmother and my mom and dad, because they were very frugal and very old-fashioned and conservative. So we learned how to do a lot of these things as children growing up, and it was just part of everyday life. But anyway, let me take you along through part of my wash day. some of you might want to come at me, and I might get some flack, some feedback for letting the kids help me with the wringer washer and be that close to it. You might say it's dangerous, they could get hurt, and yes, you're right. It is dangerous and they could get hurt. However, this is how they learn. And what better time to learn than when I'm standing right there beside them, guiding them and showing them the proper way to use it, versus them coming out here when I have my back turned and trying to figure it out on their own and getting hurt. Because that's what happened to me. I was helping my mom when she told me not to, because she got called away to a phone call, I think it was, or something like that. And me and my sibling were out there, and I was trying to ring through, and I was probably, I don't know, maybe 10. And I decided to do it on my own, and I got my arm caught. And lucky for me, I lived to tell about it. I learned a valuable lesson. I did not do it again until I knew how to do it properly. And I also learned that day how to release it, because I didn't know that prior. And I learned that day how to do that. So it's better, in my opinion, to teach them how to properly use the tools, even the dangerous ones that could be dangerous. It's more dangerous to use something and not know how to use it than it is to use something when you know how to use it. I think I said that right. Anyway, so yes, we teach our kids how to handle things. They also shoot guns. But hey, they're learning the proper way to use them, and they're supervised by adults. They're with adults when these things are going on. They use hatchets and axes and all the things. Our teenagers are using chainsaws, and yeah, we let them learn. Some things they learn by doing, but most things they learn with us. That's how I was taught. That's how I learned all these skills that I have. Everyone always asks me, how did you learn how to do all these things? How do you know this? Because I was with my parents learning these things. I wasn't in front of the TV, and I wasn't off in school all day. I mean, don't get me wrong, we did school, and I know that's a heated topic, public school and homeschool, but I was at home. I was with my parents. I was with my grandparents. I was learning these things. Does that mean I don't know how to read and write? No, I still know how to do those things. I've worked jobs. I can do these things. I don't prefer, I would never want to work a desk job, like ever. I would never want to sit and just work a desk job. That's not my thing. Some people are really good at that. Some people enjoy that kind of thing. More power to you. Somebody's got to do it. That's my philosophy on all jobs. Somebody's got to do it, because it's a position that needs done. It's a job. Someone needs to fill it. So I'm grateful for all the people that do all the different jobs that I don't want to do, because I don't want to do it. I don't. If I were working in a profession, it would be in the medical field or animals. That's what I would do. I want to be hands-on either with animals or with people. I don't want to be sitting at a desk. I don't want to be behind a register. I don't like those jobs. And I would find a way to do those jobs. Right now, my calling, my job is my family and my children. That's where I'm at. That's what I'm doing. I'm at home raising my children. That does make it harder for us financially quite often, but I also am at home, so I can do things more frugally, like secondhand clothes. We go to the thrift store, and I mean, honestly, when they're this little, they don't care. They really don't. And they're just ruining them in the mud anyway, so I have no shame in secondhand clothes. Making things from scratch. It costs a lot less to make things at home. We don't eat out often. We don't go get haircuts. We don't go buy new clothes. We don't do a lot of expensive family vacations like Disneyland and Florida and all those things. We make the sacrifices so that I can stay home and teach my children these granny skills, and these hands-on skills, real life skills, and also reading and writing, because those are important too. But that's where I'm called to be right now. And sometimes accepting and having peace about where you're at and where you're called to be is the hardest part, honestly. Sometimes it is. And there are times when we are struggling financially that I'm like, man, I just need to go to work. But then who would be home with my kids? Or where would my kids be? Or what would they be doing? Or who would be watching them? Or I would have to pay to have someone watch them. And that's not really what I want. I would rather not have the Disneyland vacation and the new clothes. I would rather not eat out every Friday and be home with my kids. So basically, it all comes down to what you want as far as that aspect goes. And I'm getting really off track. This was supposed to be laundry day. But I know a lot of people have talked to me about things like this and asked me these things. And I'm just like, I don't understand why it's so hard for people to understand this. But anyway, that's my TMI 2 cents there. So back to the laundry.